My other tribuni were on the verge of mutiny when they learned I was giving Legio Victrix to you. It's a good thing indeed that you vindicated my decision so thoroughly. Together, we have defeated one of Rome's greatest foes, a feat even Cornelius Sulla did not manage. With this victory, the Republic is once again whole.
Yours has been quite the meteoric rise to military fame, that's for sure. The Consul has an impressive eye for talent.
She is being modest. I've never seen a woman with such a talent for military matters.
We do face certain challenges in how to present your achievements to the senatorial class of Rome, on account of your sex. But we shall cross that bridge when we reach it.
It's a great shame that Mithridates escaped our grasp.
His defeat was so resounding, it is unlikely we will hear from him again. You should be grateful we got you out of trouble, Marcus.
We shall discuss that later.
On the other side of the coin, we can prove that Vitellius Scaevola was working with the enemy. Justice for your father is finally within our grasp.
I will resume my position as propraetor of the province. I knew Zenobia's late husband, Maro, quite well. We were on good terms, and I expect this relationship to carry on with his wife. It was good of you to bring Maro's murderer to justice. I am certain Zenobia and I will quickly restore the prosperity to our fair province.
Word is that a growing army of freed Serwi are rampaging across the countryside, menacing the citizens of that region.
Apparently, the Praetor Marcus Licinius Crassus has offered to raise and equip an army to deal with the problem. Sadly not. The Legion must be disbanded before we cross the river Rubicon. We will talk more when we reach its banks.
Of course, the Legionari have profited well from this campaign. If you should ever need to muster a legion again, some of them would surely join up.
It will be good to return to civilization after these long months abroad.
It has been a great honor to serve under you all.
You have served with distinction, Orestes. I regret that I could not see the war through as your commander.
Come, let us return to our camp and begin to organize our journey back. We will have plenty of time to talk on the way. And here we are. It warms your heart, doesn't it? No matter what manner of wonders you witness. There's nothing like home. It is what separates us from the barbarians. We are warriors, and we fight to preserve our home. We fight so others won't have to. You are fighting for your family and your home. That makes you a virtuous woman. All right, victorious commander. Announce your arrival to the Quaestor, and allow us to disband now.
I have wanted to come to Rome for so long. I am almost nervous now. That is what everyone says. Now I get to see it for myself. I'll let you know if I agree. You are happy to be home? They will be quite happy to see you again, I bet. I have no place to stay, of course. I can stay in your home, maybe. Just for now. That is generous. Thank you. I will try to find a place for myself, but it is good to know there is no rush. We will see. Maybe I will hate it. Then I will have to go and find someplace else to be. But I think I will want to stay. If I can find place to live. You think it will be bad? Maybe you can help me buy a nice Roman stola. Then I will fit in, right? We will go shopping. It will be fun. Why would I want to keep fighting when I don't have to? Fighting is a necessity of life. It is not sport. I did not come to Rome to keep fighting.
Hey. Oh, thanks. Just what every girl hopes to hear. I don't want to return. I don't even know where to go. This is the first time I'm back home. Let's just say, joining the Legion was not the main reason I was disguised. The actual reason is in this city. Worse. I'm going to pretend to be a prim and proper noblewoman. Not really. I like it better out there. I don't know. People. There's a lot of people in Rome. I'm not a people person. Maybe I will. Good weather, nice food. What's not to like? And you've got what you wanted too. I wouldn't count on anything. Those Vitellius bastards are slippery. Expect the unexpected.
What is it, Legate? There was, but not in Rome. I had a sister once, although sometimes I question my own sanity. Did she truly exist, or did I merely dream of her?
Aristocles teaches us that one may never truly know. We live chained inside a cave, staring at the shadows on a wall.
None can chain Bestia Tabat anymore. I will find out where my sister is. We were both sold as children. She fetched a higher price than I, for she was better in every way than I was. I do not know what became of her. I shall consider your offer.
We shall help you find your sister, Bestia. Failing that, we shall prove her existence or the lack thereof.
It is an action that bothers me. Idleness corrodes the warrior's mind. It is in the quiet moments a warrior dies. I would rather stay alert. You are a capable commander. Mercy is your weakness. Your enemies exist as long as they survive. Can't think of any situation like you mentioned.
Welcome home, Domina. More than happy. Although it was nice to be back in my homeland once again, I find it quite impossible to not miss Rome. All I need now is a change of clothes and a day trip to the library. Much appreciated. It was good to be back in action, but now my old bones are in dire need of some rest. Do see your mother. I'm sure she's anxious to know we've arrived. I shall be cautious like a lizard. None shall be aware of my presence. It appears we have everything we need against Vitellius Scaevola, but keep in mind, appearances can be deceiving. I know you will.
Legate? I always get this weird feeling when I'm back. Like I've left something of mine behind out there. Now there's a thought. That masseuse from Lutetia. I wonder if she's still around. Brilliant idea, Legate. You know what? For once, I'll do nothing. Nothing at all. And it will be glorious. A word of warning, Legate. My nothing involves a lot of debauchery and degeneracy. In that case, we have a compact. As they say in Rome, live with Kaiso, live your life.
And who are they? The people who say that?
You know, people say that. I'm sure I've heard some people saying that. Couldn't be better. We have conquered Asia, and you have all the evidence you need to put that traitorous Vitellius Skyroller behind bars.
Away, Lucullus, and his victorious legion. Welcome home.
Salve, Vitus. It is good to be home again. I'm looking forward to a nice bath and a flask of good Carthaginian wine. Maybe two.
May I humbly recommend Vipsanius Marcellus' new batch? People say it's heavenly.
Ah, your recommendations never fail to impress. Do address the legatus, though. This victory was of her doing more than mine.
She is your legatus? That is highly unusual, to say the least.
Indeed it is, but we shall discuss the implications in due time. For now, keep it to yourself as a favor to me, and let us proceed as usual.
My apologies, Legate. I neither know nor recognize you. Thank you. I am sure you'll be remembered from now on. Now, let us conclude our business. The Consul seems to attribute the success of this campaign to you, Legate. Thus it is your duty to formally disband the Legion and relinquish your weapons. Beyond this river lies the Pomerium, and not even a victorious Imperator can cross it bearing arms.
Our laws are what separates us from animals. You have given up your command, but you have retained your virtue. You can always get your command back when Rome needs you again. Ah, you overstate my influence. It is easy to make a sharp sword out of good steel. The River Rubicon marks the sacred line where you stop being a warrior. It is time you learn how you may conquer a more civilized battleground. We shall meet at my villa in 2 nights. There are people I want you to meet prior to the Senate hearing. We must get your villa back somehow. Do not worry about your favorite gladius. Your war gear will be kept safely in my summer villa outside the city.
I hope you're hungry, Domina. Lucullus is known for his lavish feasts. Do not eat anything until I've tasted it first. I wouldn't put it past the Vitellius brothers to poison this entire party just to get you and Lucullus. I am sure Dominus Lucullus has a reason and a plan. I would play along. My personal mission tonight is to taste each and every single dish. You may have to roll me home. I see that Tullius Cicero and Porcius Cato are both here tonight. They are highly esteemed senators of the Optimatus faction. The very same. He is an orator of unmatched skill. He was trained in Greece, you know. To what end? A blade would not help against poison. May Fortuna smile on you, Domina. I'll be here if you need me.
Right on time, just like a proper legatus. Welcome, my girl. After this long and arduous campaign, our feast is all you need. We should, and we are. This is our preparation. The guests in this party were not randomly chosen. Our success largely depends on your conduct tonight. Well, you know Marcus Minucius Thermus. He's still thankful for your timely assistance and the saving of his life. You probably remember Marcus Aurelius Cotta as well. He seems to have brought his siblings, Lucius and Aurelia Cotta. The gentleman in the corner is Marcus Tullius Cicero. Making his acquaintance should prove to be very useful for you. I plan for him to become your advocate tomorrow. Last but not least, I've also invited Marcus Porcius Cato, who may or may not represent you as well. You see why it was important for you to be here. Yes, there is one thing. A proper introduction of you. I'm sorry to spring this on you, my girl, but this is the perfect time. Let's hope the news doesn't force that food back up. My friends, may I please have your attention? There is someone I would like to introduce to you. A very important woman, without whose deeds we would not be assembled here tonight. Most of you have heard my reports to the Senate about our war and the pivotal role of my new legatus. You know of the meteoric rise of this young Roman from humble legionarius to loved and respected commander of the Victrix Legion. Well, here she is. The woman who liberated Asia and sent Mithridates packing.
Is this a joke?
I'm glad to keep the secret no longer, Lucullus. It has been an unwelcome burden. A woman led the Legion. This young girl in her pretty dress.
Presumably she was not clad thus at the time, Cicero.
Without her, Legio Victrix would have been killed to a man, and I would have died with them.
That is absurd.
You expect us to believe all this? You are known as a man of honor, Lucullus, who reveres tradition and the natural order of things.
This is why I trust that you will take me on my word. She is no ordinary woman.
That is one way of looking upon it.
You have given us much to consider, Consul. Perhaps we may ask her a few questions to get a sense of things. What do the men of Legio Victrix think of this? Men fight better when they are led by a commander they trust.
What do you know of such things, Cicero? You have never commanded soldiers.
I would have no skill as an orator if I did not know what moves the heart of a man.
You have deceived many about your sex. You expect such deception to be forgiven?
I believe her aim was to serve Rome, not to change the natural order of things. There was no need to call attention to her sex.
You expect us to believe you can match a man in combat?
She's clearly a remarkable woman, but you have no reason to feel threatened, senators. She's only one woman, after all.
The word of a virtuous man such as Lucullus is enough for me.
I will let you get back to your meal and your discussion, senators. The night is young, and more food is forthcoming. Cato and Cicero, certainly. Cato was against you from the start, but Aurelia is clearly on your side, and she will mitigate what damage he can do. Do join me at Cato's and Cicero's table when you've recovered your energy. The second impression can be just as important as the first.
must be some sort of
He certainly gave them something to think about, didn't he? Well, I can't blame them for being rattled. It took me quite some time to get used to the idea of a woman in charge of a legion.
he would allow.
My leg still hurts every now and then, and all this rain isn't helping. That is nothing compared to what could have been. You have my eternal gratitude. Much appreciated. But I am eager to return to my propraetorship in Asia. With any luck, Rome will never have need of me again. It is pretty much out of my hands. I'd follow your Patronus's lead. Lucullus is a smart man who usually has a few backup plans. I understand you have all the evidence you need to expose Vitellius Scaevola. It's a strong position. Nevertheless, I would advise caution. Vitellius Scaevola, and especially his brother Lurco, are ruthless and cunning. Expect the unexpected. Only those who matter. Be careful around Cotta. He's still reeling somewhat from the damage that was done to his pride. He probably understands it well. It's just that your presence here is a constant reminder of his failure.
I was surprised Crassus offered to pay for the whole campaign himself.
He's desperate for a military victory to get himself elected consul.
But fending off a mob of gladiators? That's not very glamorous.
An easy victory to advertise to gullible plebeians.
Of course. The savior of the legions, Lucullus Wonder Kid. I knew you would be here.
Nonsense. It's a party after all. What would be the purpose of these gatherings if we refrained from conversation? I am Aurelia Cotta. Marcus and Lucius are my brothers. It's wonderful to meet you, Legate. We were just talking about you anyway.
Of course we were.
We were discussing how you saved my brother's life and became the hero of the Asia campaign.
Yet my son Gaius was not valuable enough to be saved. I apologize, Legate. They told me you had become close despite how briefly you knew each other. Oh, it's broken. This sword was my father's. It was called Croquet Morse. You were friends with him, weren't you? However briefly. Why don't you keep it? I think I still have the old schematics for it. I'll have a servant bring them to your villa tomorrow.
Other than saving his life?
Lucius!
Oh, please, let him talk, Aurelia. Let everyone witness the failure of Marcus Aurelius Cotta. The man who got himself captured and let his nephew die. The consul who had to be saved by a homeless runt.
Rest assured, my brother is thankful for that, Legate.
Really? Are you so eager to display your shallowness?
It's been rather rainy recently, true. At least the rain drives the mosquitoes away.
Not all of them, it seems.
Is Pompeius Magnus not coming tonight?
He's in Hispania, I believe.
Shit. Oh, I thought this was my chance to win his patronage.
Salve. I've heard a lot about you. I am Marcus Tullius Cicero. Is that so? Few people beyond the political circles would know of me. My reputation depends largely on who's talking. Yet, our reputations are built on how others speak of our actions, not on the actions themselves. I'm an advocate. I defend those whom others seek to incriminate. But I'm sure a career soldier such as you would find the topic rather boring. Indeed. I suppose that makes sense, especially considering the predicament you're in. That depends what you mean by friend. Your Patronus, Lucullus, is a consul. Many people would claim to be his friend. There's a difference between knowing someone and merely knowing someone's name, though. Are we friends? Our republic is in great turmoil. We should all aim to gather around us as many friends as possible.
That is absolutely unnecessary. I'd spend it all on farmlands. People need their food.
Indeed they do. But what good is food if it's obtained by illegitimate means? What do you think about it, Legate? Spoils of war, unaccounted for and untaxed. Should they be used for development to feed the people of Rome? A simple question.
A fairly strong answer, I'd say. No matter how much you try to legislate, the situation at hand will defy your expectations.
Meet Senators Marcus Porcius Cato and Marcus Tullius Cicero, who will be acting as your attorney tomorrow. At least I hope so.
Unfortunately, things have developed differently, my friend. I've decided to represent Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola instead. Certainly not me. My skill is in building a solid defense, not in prosecuting. I have looked at the evidence, though. It is very solid. You should have no trouble representing yourself.
Certainly an interesting turn of events. But I've heard you talking disfavorably about the Vitellius brothers before. How do you justify defending them?
What I justify hardly matters. I seek to represent them to the best of my ability, so justice can be served.
Most certainly. It would make you as guilty as they are.
Rubbish. As long as your defense itself is conducted by legal means, we must trust the system to produce the right outcome.
Legate, what guidelines did you follow when you had to decide the fate of that Triarchus? Why did you let him live? Our feelings often point towards the moral path. I wonder, exactly how utilitarian are you in your thinking? I heard you had the opportunity to bribe a hired guard protecting a spy.
Stop interrogating the woman, Cato. Not everyone must adhere to your high standards.
Yet you did not take it. A point well taken.
Depends on the denarii, I suppose. Well, gentlemen, this discussion has become too hypothetical for my tastes. I bid you a good day.
Wale, Cicero. See you tomorrow.
One final question, before I retire as well.
You and your questions, Cato.
I believe if you wanted, you could enter the Pomerium fully armed. Why didn't you? Indeed. In betraying Rome, you would betray yourself. This has been an interesting conversation, gentlemen. I thank you for it. But now, with your permission, I shall leave. Welate.
Wale, Cato.
You look tired. Shall we leave? So, did you enjoy yourself? That is what life is.
As per today's augury, a specific issue stood out as being of utmost importance. I bring forth the following relatio, the result of which is to be decided per discussionem, and as usual before the sun sets. The complaint is brought forth by Lucius Licinius Lucullus concerning alleged wrongdoing and infamous conduct by Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola and his brother Vibius Vitellius Lurco. Are both parties present?
I am present.
As am I.
Weird that Vitellius Lurco would be here to do the talking. Where is Scaevola? He is the accused.
Are both parties represented?
I shall represent the defendant.
Very well. For the benefit of all present, would the owner of the complaint restate their accusation? Found out. So you do have evidence. Interesting. Do you accept the accusation, Kikaro?
I see no reason to comment at this stage. May I humbly remind the Magistra, he who makes the claim has the burden of proof. We shall rest until sufficient proof is presented to eliminate all shadow of a doubt.
I was just trying to be helpful. The defendant is always at a disadvantage.
I'm sure you mean usually and not always.
As you wish. Present your evidence.
Preposterous. Do you think my client would be foolish enough to commit a crime and put his signature on the evidence?
The evidence is material, Kikaro. There is no room for interpretation. The crates do carry Scaevola's signature.
I have investigated them myself. I concur. Is there anyone who would contest my findings?
I admit, the evidence looks damning.
So, do the defendants admit their guilt? Are the Vitelli guilty of all crimes stated or implied?
Of course not. For starters, the evidence proves only treason.
Only? What else is needed to declare this man infamous?
Do not interrupt the speaker.
No harm done. My dear friend Cato is correct. The evidence is enough to declare one infamous. That one is Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola. Nowhere in any findings can you conjure the ability to implicate my client, Vibius Vitellius Lurco. That, of course, depends on the nature of the treason. But that's largely irrelevant.
That is literally the topic of our discussion, Kikaro. How in the world can you say it's irrelevant?
There simply is no case. Vitellius Scaevola cannot be punished.
Your rhetorical games grow tiresome. You have admitted the evidence is rock solid.
This should be interesting.
Senators, people of Rome, of course the evidence is clear. I accept my brother's guilt. It is a stain on our family name. A stain we will quite possibly never be able to cleanse. You know I love my family. I love my brother more than anything else in this world. Almost anything. The only thing I love more than my own brother is Rome itself. And thus, with sorrow in my heart, I was forced to take his life.
Oh, I see.
It is not a boast. It is my solemn duty to deliver the news. I am a man with the highest of morals. Someone who places the well-being of Rome over his own flesh and blood. Step outside, Senators. You will witness my brother hanging from the old tree. Let him rot there. Do not take him down. Let it be a warning to all those who would threaten Rome, placing their petty family matters over the well-being of our great republic. Let it be known that Rubius Vitellius Lurco will never tolerate treason, not even from his own blood.
A decision cannot be reached. This case is non-existent.
That bastard outmaneuvered us. We underestimated how cold-blooded he truly is. This is not good, though. He turned impending defeat into a major victory. We will need a new plan. Go home and lay low for now. Your family needs you.
Domina, we've been awaiting your return. You have a good memory for faces. The name is Marcellus. Naturally not. There will also be no need for that. The villa is yours. Have a nice day.
Dearest daughter, you're back! And with Celeris. Oh, it's so good to see you both safe.
It's good to see you, Domina.
I've missed you so much. You look great. Did you lose some weight? Are you eating well? Has she been eating well, Celeris?
She has, Domina.
Do tell your mother how much you missed her. You were always my favorite. Don't tell your sister. Tell me about the war. I heard some of your friends died there. Killed by pirates. How did you survive? So am I. You can't guess how glad I am. Did the Legionari treat you with respect? Did you keep your womanhood secret, as I said you should? Did you, really? Well, you simply must invite her around for dinner soon. Such a unique shared experience should forge a friendship for life. I must say, Lucullus was reckless to reveal your sex at his feast like that. It has caused an uproar without equal among the senatorial class.
If you'll permit me to disagree, Domina, Consul Lucullus' move was masterful. In placing the glory for the victory in Greece on the shoulders of your daughter, and revealing the trick in the same breath, he has made it impossible for anyone to publicly condemn her.
You underestimate the senators, Celeris. They will find a way to slander her good name in the public eye. If not today, then tomorrow. Oh, they were polite, mostly. Except for the fact they wanted me confined to this villa. I guess having me walking around the streets was too much of a risk. Once you were out of the picture, he had no reason to antagonize me, though. I do, and the Coolus agreed. It was a sinister plan to take over our family. But now you're here, and everything will be fine. They told me your sister's husband is dead. She should be free by now. I wonder if they did something to her. It's good to have you home, and for it to be our home again. Now that you're back, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, listen to me. You just got here. Go on, take some time to settle in. Let me know when you're ready to get to work.